Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show. This is Jenganjero. Now, today we have the Matchmaker show, and you understand the protocol here. Any other time we have a man on board, the man is looking for a woman. In the same way, when we have a woman on board, that woman must be looking for a man. And because today we have a man, I will tell you the kind of woman he is looking for. But before then, if you're watching us for the first time, this is the Matchmaker show. We help men and women to get matches. And the moment they get the right ones, they meet their destinies. So you're not lost. If you're new to the show, subscribe, like the video, and don't forget to leave a comment. Also, the contacts of our guest will be on my Facebook page at Jenganjero. Now, our guest on today's show, his story was preempted on my Facebook page at Jenganjero. His name is Francis. And Francis is in the village. His name is Njuguna. The other name is Njuguna. Francis. Lakini ushago watu wanamuita Fraje. You know, hiyo kutohoa wanaitwa Fraje, but Njuguna is his name. He had given his story that he's looking for a woman who is 40 years and above. He is in the village and he's looking for a wife. He lives in Gatondo. And most people assume that every other time you live in the village, you are poor. There are people who have this kind of mindset that every other time you live in the village, you do not have exposure, you are not traveled, you do not understand how things run, you don't understand the economy, you don't have money, you're just waiting for your time to die and go meet your maker. Nothing can be further from the truth. As a matter of fact, there is something that Njuguna said, for those who are able to follow me on my Facebook page, that even when he is living in the village, he cannot complain that he doesn't have money. He also said he cannot complain that he doesn't have a job because he works. Okay? He lives with his aging parents. He also cannot say that he is poor because he is not. Okay? He made a very good statement about who he is and what people think people of the village are. I will explain. He said the difference between people who live in the city and those who live in the village is that those who live in the village keep more or most of what they make in terms of material resource, while those people who live in the city waste or spend much of what they earn. Somebody could be making like $2,000 a month in the city, but they spend like 80% of it, 90% of it in the city. Like they will be living from payslip to payslip, 250,000, 240,000 per month, but the next month they don't have money. They will be depending on the next because probably they have very high rents. Okay, they take their children to prestigious schools. Okay, some of these schools are very expensive. Probably the guy lives in a very posh neighborhood, or maybe the neighborhood that this guy lives in is expensive. You get the point. There is that kind of lifestyle and spending because he wants to fit in a certain group. However, the guy who is living in the village does not subscribe to that kind of ideology. That guy will be making, let's say, 70 or even 100,000 per month. But this guy does not pay water bills. The guy does not pay rent. He has built his own house. He does not buy some of the household items and commodities like eggs, milk, veggies. Okay, they're available in his farm. Maybe the water is coming in form of a borehole, still in his farm. He has built his home in the same farm. Okay, maybe the only kind of spending he has is power, the prepaid tokens, for instance, or the ones that bill come per month. You get the point. So when you compare these two kind of lifestyles, also there are very good schools in the village, others are private institutions, and they are not as expensive as those who live in the city. You get the point. So most people who live in the village do not spend much of what they make. They are able to save and make money. That is Francis for you. Fraji Njuguna. That is the statement he was passing across. Number one, he says that he's a very educated man. If you are able to read his message, you could tell this is an eloquent man. This is a man who has gone to school. It is just that he was not lucky. In fact, he went to school of agriculture, Kabete, Upper Kabete. Hii mnaita Nairobi University School of Agriculture. Inaitwa Kabete Ng'ombe, Upper Kabete. Okay, he is a graduate, got second class upper division. Okay, and again, this man understands that sometimes without godfathers it is difficult to get a job that is well paying in this country. How many graduates do we have who are tamarking today? Not because they do not have qualifications, not because they do not qualify, but because they do not have somebody who can hold them or hold their hands and place them somewhere. Okay, so you resort to building something from scratch. Either you go to farming, start a business, or you can decide to do something that has to do with a high income skill. You develop a skill and you're paid for that skill. Okay, you're paid for that skill. People like us who are public speakers are paid for that skill. Like, if you want somebody to speak on the area of performance, you invite me, okay, and you want me to come and speak on your event, depending on the audience, and you give us a topic, we deliver. That's a high income skill, or an income skill, if you like it. There are people who develop their skill, and others are developing skills, like they went to school to get skills like let's say veterinary doctor. You see, the guys and the women you call vets, maybe that person is very good at treating your animals. And speaking of vets, I have one vet who is coming on the show. Okay, so stay tuned if you love these people who love things to do with agriculture. I also read a testimony on my Facebook page in the comment section, but I think I'll attach it in the comment section of, is it Princess Malda K? Mother is saying that she got married this year by somebody who lives in the village, and they are doing so well, because you do not have to assume that people who live in the village are suffering. They are not suffering. Some of them are doing very well, and that is Mr. Njuguna for you. So again, what is a 51-year-old man looking for? He's looking for a woman who is God-fearing, a woman who has kids, because he had two, and that woman went. There are people who have dreams of going abroad. They, even when you don't have that dream as a husband, if the wife has a dream to go to the US and they apply things like green card, or they get an opportunity, irrespective of the means, they are just going to leave. So she proposed, he refused. It was a back and forth kind of, they pushed, they pulled. The guy said, you know what, cannot force you. So if you want, you can just leave. And the woman left. It's been 10 years since. We're speaking about the year 2014. So Bwana Njuguna is there, single and searching. Any woman 40 and above, he's not interested in adding more children. But I usually tell people, sometimes you could be 38, 37, and you want to try your luck, because I don't believe there is anything cast on stone. Sometimes people compromise on other boxes, because you could be ticking so many boxes, but you do not tick the most important. Sometimes you don't tick so many boxes, but you tick the most important. So you can give it a try. Others could be even 50, 51, 52, and he has said 40 to 50, and maybe you're 51. You're like, let me test. After all, what is the worst of the worst? Sini kukua tu rejected, ama kukua atasema tu hapana. So that's it. I will post his contacts on my Facebook page at Jenga Njeru. Get in touch with him. Gatondo is not far. In fact, people who live in Gatondo come to Nairobi to work every morning. The people who build estates, they come. Even if President Uhuru Kenyatta wanted to work from State House and go home to Gatondo, Ishaweri for instance, that's South Gatondo South. If the president wants to work from State House to Gatondo every day, he still would have done that, because it's actually not very far. Okay, so I am wishing the best candidate the best of luck, and you could be having children. Children are not a problem. He said he comes from a place where food is in plenty. Okay, he comes from a place where schools and social amenities are just at close proximity. So you don't have to worry about that. If you don't have a job, he will teach you what you can do, and you can also be somebody who is loving, so that you can love his aging parents. He cannot leave them for anything. That's where the blessings are coming from. So until then, this is Jenga Njeru. God bless you. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also like this video. Make sure you like this video for this particular episode. And until then, this is Jenga Njeru. God bless you. Bye bye.